Let's talk about the biggest news of the day. Life of a Showgirl, 12 songs. I Like Canceled is my favorite if I had to get into it. And also, the way Taylor Swift was kind of treated by the music industry, I think the way she views it is very similar to how I think the sports media world has viewed us.
Yeah, there are definitely some theories that are based in absolutely nothing close to reality. But you know what? Like, there are some that are so fun when they figure them out. Like just yesterday, somebody figured out that.
This is a Taylor Swift news alert you don't want to miss. Check out everything that happened recently in this video.
Let's talk about the biggest news of the day. Life of a Showgirl, 12 songs. I Like Canceled is my favorite if I had to get into it. Actually Romantic, also awesome. And I think Wood is about Travis Kelce's. So
okay.
from my early,
pretty graphic.
I'm not 100% sure if there's full descriptors in it. Just from my gathering, my intel, my wife tried to brief me on the way out this morning on what she stayed up last night and listened to. I would like to let people know that we are massive Taylor Swift fans, and also the way Taylor Swift was kind of treated by the music industry, I think the way she views it is very similar to how I think the sports media world has viewed us. So I take a lot of the things she says in her messaging, in her diary, and journalism as like Who's Afraid of Little Old Me You Should Be is like a gangster ass song, especially if you've been in a position where you've walked into a suit's office and told them to go f themselves. So I am a massive fan of Taylor Swift. Congrats to her. On that note, Kansas City Chiefs might be all the way.
The movie tonight. My daughter was up at 6 o'clock in the morning playing the album. I think she's like, there's a movie that documents the tour or something. I want to say, or the album she's going tonight.
Of course, she's playing 6D chess. Okay, you know there's 4D chess. She is always doing it.
And I want to talk about your Easter eggs. Like, so many of your fans, hear these Easter eggs or see these Easter eggs. Are they really always there, or is there times where you go, yeah, that's not really a hint, that's not really an Easter egg?
Yeah, there are definitely some theories that are based in absolutely nothing close to reality. But you know what? Like, there are some that are so fun when they figure them out. Like just yesterday, somebody figured out that if you line up the titles of all the tracks of this album in order, and you line them up in the center of the frame, the shape of the track list makes the same shape as the Eras Tour stage.
Okay.
Wow.
So that was a real one. That was one that it took a while for them to discover, and then finally they figured it out, and it was really fun. But then there's some where, like, people thought that somehow sourdough bread was a part of the whole thing, when actually that's I bake. I love baking. It's completely aside from my music. It's just a hobby I'm obsessed with.
There's a track on this album about sourdough. I know there is. We're gonna find
no,
it.
there's not. There's not. But yeah, it's been really funny to have people care that much, because ultimately Easter eggs are always leading towards more art. They're leading towards lyrics or art that's coming in the future. So I wouldn't be able to do that if the fans didn't care so much about the music itself, which I'm very honored by.
So we always say that your albums are really like a diary, and then you just open it up and you share your diary with the world, and you've done this 12 times, so 12 different diaries. But in doing it, are there lyrics that you can think of right now that were just incredibly difficult for you to write and then open up and share with people?
Not really. I don't really operate that way. Like, my music is a way of, it's a part of catharsis. Like, there will be times where I'll write the most gut-wrenching song of torment and heartbreak, and then as soon as I'm done writing it, I'm done with that emotion. Like, it's almost in a way of just sort of like, you say the thing and then you can move on from the thing. But I just have kind of learned as time has gone by to sort of deal with writing in terms of from the character or story arcs or fiction, or in this record, there's a song called Elizabeth Taylor, which is sort of like my emotions and my issues with fame through the lens of cosplaying the life of Elizabeth Taylor. So you kind of meld the two experiences together, because she's always someone that I've looked up to as being this very, very glamorous, very beloved, but for some reason a polarizing figure, which I've found myself in that place too. So it's been really fun, right? I love writing.
Well, Elizabeth
It's just
Taylor.
fun.
Elizabeth Taylor, I've always been a massive fan because I guess it's the old gay thing. I don't know. But, I mean,
Hey.
she would just navigate through life just looking flawless at all times. But, as soon as the door closed, she was throwing
And she was
sharp.
funny.
She was hilarious.
But she was funny.
And she had
I
guts.
think she's just a fabulous role model and person that I hope my fans will look her up and see how much she went through and how she was making her best art, even at the midst of people's outrage over something in her life. She continued being at the top of her game in terms of her artistic output.
Well, good. I mean, a whole new audience needs to learn a lot more about Elizabeth Taylor. And so I was listening to the song. I was thinking this is definitely an homage to her, but it's actually an homage to yourself as well. And I love that. And also, Opalite.
Yes, joining the experiences.
Talk about Opalite. Is that the one that has the lyric? It's my favorite lyric on the album. You're dancing through the lightning strikes. That's from the song?
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you like that one. That's one of my favorite songs on the record.
But you can actually see choreography. You can see someone dancing through the lightning strikes. What a powerful line that is. Love that. And also,
it's about choosing happiness in your own life. Opalite is a man-made opal. It's just how they have man-made diamonds now. And so I love that sort of reference and metaphor between making your own gemstone and then manufacturing your own happiness, even when things aren't going your way.
Also, if you're a size queen, father figure's a nice selection.
Oh, father figures are great. I love that one.
And look,
I love that one.
No one's going to ask you who that's about, but it sure is applicable to all of our lives.
Well, it's a song about power, and
right.
it's got a really good metaphor about the way that men move through the world in a sense of power, and it's kind of you kind of can't tell if I'm singing from the perspective of the ingenue or of the father figure mentor character, and that's by design.
Wow.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
You mentioned earlier, you just talked about making your own happiness. And when we started this call, you said that you're feeling uncomplicated joy. What to you is complicated joy? Because that made me really think about, what does that mean?
I think I want some of that.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Complicated joy around a record release is when you wrote the album a year ago when you were in a very different place emotionally than you are when you wrote it. Let's say you wrote a heartbreak album and now you're very happy. Or let's say you wrote a happy album and now you're very heartbroken. Or any kind of variation on that when you feel that you're in a different place. And now you're putting out art that you're proud of but you don't relate to anymore. I really relate to this record because I'm in the same exact place as I was when I wrote it.
So of all the people talking about the album today, it was good to hear from Pat McAfee because he always has the most supportive things to say about Tay. And I agree with his sentiments in regards to Taylor's words being relatable. So shout out to him. And if you missed Taylor breaking down some of the songs from the album, check out this next video.